my name's Richard Wilson, and yeah, I'm here in Leicester. As soon as I drove around the corner, around the back of Kate Street, and saw it, and that was completely by chance. I mean, got so lucky. I saw this wall and just thought, oh my God, this is heaven. But at that point, I actually thought to myself, well, they're never going to let me paint it. It's so pristine, it's so perfect, in good condition, with this barbed wire on the top and cameras there. It's obviously, you know, a kind of important wall to them. So when they said yes, you know, I can paint it. When I saw the wall, I didn't even know what it belonged to. So I went around the front and saw there's a big electrical shop. So I thought, okay, so it's that. Went inside and spoke to the manager. Yeah, I just said to him, this isn't something you're going to get asked every day, but I paint large portraits of people and I want to do Ranieri on the back wall. So he seemed quite intrigued, so I thought, okay, that's not a no straight away. And he went and phoned Mark, the owner, and pretty much within 2 minutes, without even seeing a mock-up I had made, you know, I thought I'm going to have to give someone a hard sell to allow me to do this. Nope. They pretty much pushed me out the back to get stuff. And at that point, it was just Ranieri and the flag. That's all I had in my head. I did have a little voice telling me once I saw the size of the wall, oh my God, you could get all the players on this. I thought once I had the idea, I was watching the Swansea game a few weeks ago and I thought, I want to paint Claudio. First time I've done someone non-music related, but I thought he's such
What drew you to him?
Well, the way he just comes across so well, doesn't he? He's just such a character, and obviously what's happened this year with the team, it's just phenomenal stories. You know, I think it's more than sport or football. Anything's possible. Like me coming here and managing to be doing this. I mean, I would never have imagined, just like I would never imagine Leicester winning the league. I think I'd get bigger odds than 5,000 to 1 of me ever coming to Leicester and all of this happening. I've had friends come up from London and just like hang out for a few hours, and they're just bewildered like me. Like, just what's happening in this street.
So you're Leicester City supporters now, then?
We are now, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
None of this would have happened. I'm pretty sure I could have found somewhere, but I don't know if it would have had this impact. The exact right size that I need in terms of fitting their faces in from top to bottom. Maybe a little bit bigger than I'm used to, but that's great. With these kind of things, bigger the better in a way. The wall is probably about 60 metres, maybe I think 50 to 60 metres at the back. I can't quite fit everyone on that, but again, another piece of luck. Just round the side, the wall extends. So I'm going to paint a couple of players there, and you'll be able to see those ones from the main road driving past.
Oh, I just think it's incredible. It's just so skillful. It's just such a privilege to see. I just wanted to come and see it close up because you just couldn't believe the detail from just seeing it on Facebook. And when you see it, the detail's stunning when you get right up to the lips and everything.
You started nice and early today, then?
Yeah, I'm here like just after 6 really.
What about yesterday with the rain? Did it hold you out?
No, not too much. I made a little roof, so I did tarpaulin over the top. So it was alright. Let's tuck it under that. It's very surreal. I don't even know if it's actually sunk in yet, even though it's been over a period of 3 weeks already. I mean, I'm genuinely so fulfilled already with this, and just doing it as a hobby. I'm going way back, like in the mid-80s. I became obsessed with graffiti art, subway art. From, you know, there was a book and a documentary that came over from New York and grabbed the attention of people like me, you know, teenagers. And since then, even though I haven't been, you know, a writer in sense of doing graffiti prolifically at all, it's just been a massive obsession for me. And maybe in the last, I don't know, maybe the last 5 years, got really interested in trying to paint portraits with different mediums, acrylic, oil, but struggling a bit. Last year I tried, okay, let me just try one with spray paint. Never thought I'd be able to do it. I did a hero of mine, Louis Vega. All of this is to do with music, pretty much. Obviously this isn't. That's why I literally felt compelled to try and express myself, to try and let these musicians and artists that I'm so passionate about know how much what they do means to people. I thought, wow, if I could do something like paint their portrait, paint a mural about them, I might be able to let them know what it means to people like me. Because there's a lot of different techniques you can do this. I mean, I use a grid to basically get my proportions correct. Some talk about whether that's actually cheating or not. But once I did some research into it, because I never knew about this idea of gridding, and I read that Da Vinci used to use it to scale things up, I thought, well, it's good enough for him. I follow, and I'm really interested in people who do these kind of portraits, and I think there's a few people around the world who don't use any aid at all in terms of a grid. They literally can just turn up and paint, and that's unbelievable. I don't even know how they do that. So I mark up a grid on the wall, a set of squares, and that helps me transfer the images in my phone to the wall, and it's just in one colour at the moment. So I've got a white background, and I'm doing it with a dark grey paint. And that's really just so I can stand back and look at it once I've finished and say, okay, that looks like who it's supposed to look like. Once I got to that point, at that stage, I just start shading in with probably about 5 or 6 different shades of grey. Yeah, I mean, these are probably the biggest ones I've done, usually a little bit smaller, but not much. I mean, if I start to get, imagine half the size of this, I don't think I could pull them off just because of using the spray paint. One of the ultimate things to me about this is people are so interested in the spray paint side of it. Yeah. They're genuinely fascinated. How are you doing it? They want to pick up the I mean, most of these people probably never even touched one, never even seen. Most art on the wall, whether it's art or not, is subjective. They might see it as an eyesore. Yeah. Anything done with a spray can. Yeah, so that's just the thing that fascinates me, the interest in the actual art form, I guess, of doing something like this with spray paint. People genuinely interested and intrigued from all walks of life. I mean, when I came originally, and did Ranieri, I just booked myself into a hotel up the road and just stayed there. But since I came back to start the rest of the players, it's turned into something mad, to the point of I booked into the Holiday Inn Express next to the ground, just completely randomly. And I got quoted about £1,200 to stay there for 3 weeks, and I was like, oh my God, there's no... But I might have to, what can I do? I've got to stay here. Anyway, so I was in the middle of I was on my laptop trying to look at alternatives, somewhere cheaper, and I got a phone call from the Leicester Mercury, local paper, and I was just talking to him. He asked me what I'm up to, and pretty much he said, listen, I think I can sort that out for you, so give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, the room rings in my hotel. She says, I spoke to you yesterday, gave you a quote at £1,200, actually you can have it for free. I mean, wow. Unbelievable. If I wasn't sitting on the edge of the bed, I'd have fallen over. I mean, that's an incredible offer, to stay in a hotel for 3 weeks for free. But usually when you do anything where there's a lot of people involved, you're going to get some negativity. Someone's going to, there's always one kind of thing. I haven't seen anything other than just complete love being shown to me here. It's mind-blowing. Like I said, it's very surreal. I don't know if it's sunk in yet. I'm just trying to embrace it, really. I'm finding myself in the middle of situations or things that if you'd have said to me a month ago, I'd have probably been pretty scared of doing them. It seems to all be working out just because everyone's so nice, and it's just really inspiring me to try and keep going with it. The boys that I work with directly, they know, because every now and again they'd see something of mine on Facebook. That's my only way of sharing something, and that's just to my friends, and they probably might have 100 or 200 people interested because they're like-minded, they're into the same music. So I'll post someone that I've painted, and they're like, okay, I'm a fan of his too. So wonderful comments, and that really drives me on to do more. But a lot of the people up the chain in Bonhams, no idea I'm doing this at all. Management level, directors and so on. And it wasn't until this was all over the news and all over the Financial Times, for example, and all sorts of papers, that I've come into work, and they're like, "Who are you? What's going on?" And the standard question is, "Why are you driving a van?" And apart from the fact I actually quite like it, I like my job. I like spray painting these faces more, and if something ever comes from it, great. But yeah, it's funny, the reaction from work. My boss Andy has been so kind. I mean, I think he understood. He'd seen something in the Guardian about this, and he kind of understood. Okay, you've got a crazy opportunity here. Not even in terms of business or anything like that, but just a chance to paint a wall solidly for a month. I mean, it's a dream come true. It's incredible. Bizarrely, almost parallels to what happened with the team, in the sense of anything's possible. I would not have imagined any of this would be possible.